Big 3 points for Simeone's side then as they go to France and get the victory as we welcome in Alex Kirkland to the show. Alex,
the only one that was prepared to watch this game.
Alex was watching this game for us. How would you sum it up, Alex?
Look, Dan, I would love to be able to explain how Atletico Madrid won this game, but I can't. There is no explanation. There isn't, because, I mean, you saw the highlights there, you saw the stats as well. They were hammered by PSG. You know, PSG dominated possession, had loads more chances. Atletico were hanging on, especially in the second half. Jan Oblak with a couple of good saves to keep them in it. It looked like Atleti were hanging on for a draw. That looked like sort of the best case scenario for Atleti was come away with a 1-1. But no, as you saw there, literally last kick of the game, last move of the game, bit of magic from Griezmann. Correa does well, poor defending. And it's 2-1. And the Atletico Madrid players at full time, I mean, they were almost laughing. I mean, of course they were smiling, they were happy, but they were laughing because they couldn't quite believe it either. And don't forget what a huge result this for Atleti, because they'd had a couple of big defeats in their previous two Champions League games. They were hammered last time out. And so they needed this. They needed this. And Diego Simeone's talked about what a big deal he thinks it is in this new format to finish in the top 8, to go through automatically, to not have to have those extra 2 playoff games to progress to the knockout stage. And this gives them, they may well not achieve that given the results they've got so far, but this is a huge boost for them, whether it's deserved or not. And like I say, on the balance of play, absolutely wasn't deserved. They were absolutely delighted with that result.
Where did it go wrong for PSG? How could they not capitalise on all the chances they had?
I mean, they weren't efficient in front of goal for sure. Like I say, Oblak made a couple of really good saves, but these were chances that PSG should have been converting. There were a couple that were literally pretty much one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Hakimi had one. There were a couple of others as well, and they didn't take them. And Atleti were really, really hanging on. And this is not, this isn't the old Atletico Madrid that you can sort of rely on them to hang on at the back because the defence is shaky. You saw there with Longley for the PSG goal. But they got away with it. Atletico Madrid got away with it, and like I say, a lack of sort of clinical finishing from PSG, I think, was key to this, because it wasn't about chance creation. I think there were 15 chances created by PSG over the course of the game. It was that they weren't able to convert those chances.
What's interesting, obviously we don't watch PSG a lot. We see them in the Champions League. Every game there seems to be a mistake from Donnarumma.
Yeah, this one was maybe...
Is that harsh? Are you putting a face?
I think it's harsh.
Yeah.
Well, it goes through the defender's legs, who's 5 yards in front of Donnarumma.
Okay.
I mean, he's got very little time to react, and you see the way he tries to flick his hand at it. He's obviously seen it late. But you know what? If you're supposed to be one of the top keepers in the country, then I guess you can look at it and say he should have done better. I just think it's a little harsh to pin the blame on him.
But he does tend to make, it seems, a lot of errors in games. But yeah, I mean, I was there 25th, or did I really say that?
They're 25th in the league.
I looked over at that big screen to check. I like to look round these days, that's how my life is. Yeah. A big screen to check how this big table is, but it wasn't there.
Right,
so
good.
It's kind of
good. Everyone needed to know that.
Well, there's nothing else to talk about. I mean, you want me to dress you down on Atleti?
No, I thought you were going to say something about PSG in 25th, but no.
What am I going to say about PSG?
I don't know. You were the one who started talking.
This is the most pants round of the Champions League I think I've ever known. This is just utterly bemusing what to talk about here today.
Smiles all round. Rafinha given the Man of the Match award as Barcelona continue to impress. I think once again, they'll be excited because they will be at the top of Shaka's power rankings. And this front three just can't stop scoring. 19 for Lewandowski, 12 for Rafinha. Lamine Yamal lagging a little bit with just 6. It's rubbish. It's over. It's done. As we welcome back with us, Alex is here, as is Jurgen. Alex, they are unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, you mentioned that goal scoring. I mean, look back over the last month, they are averaging 4 goals a game. They score on average 4 goals a game over the last 4 or 5 weeks. It's remarkable. And you look to the front three there, the stats. Rafinha's the one for me, arguably player of the season in Spain so far, playing with such confidence. You saw the way that he took that second goal in particular. You saw the role he had in the Lewandowski goal. He also hit the post, trying to score straight from a corner in this game, and intentionally as well, just playing with supreme confidence and with a player who knows exactly what his role is. He's so important off the ball in terms of leading the press, as well as what he does with goals and assists. And just the atmosphere in this Barca squad is just very, very positive. You can see that whatever Flick's done, he's done a lot, of course, since he's come in. Tactically, people have talked about the offside trap, about the way the forwards are playing, but as much as anything is, the atmosphere just seems so positive. At times under Xavi at Barca, it really felt that there wasn't a good atmosphere there behind the scenes, and the players weren't happy, and you didn't see the players smiling. And now it's just, whether it's the players who are in the team, the players who are on the substitutes bench, that the whole squad, they all seem invested in what Flick is doing, and he's built this really quite impressive team spirit in quite a short time. And yet things are going, of course, really well for them domestically. They're way out in front at the top of the La Liga table, and in the Champions League, which is so important for a club like Barca. They've kind of lost so much prestige in Europe in recent years from those big defeats they suffered over the last few years, and they're on the way back, and they want to do something in the Champions League this season. Let's see if they will. Of course, it's a long way to go, but so far, at least, it's looking good. And yeah, it's huge credit to what Flick's done so far.
Can you imagine going into that football club training ground every day at the moment?
You must have all had runs like that, boys. Celtic, Liverpool, where you're just like loving life.
Wait to get in.
You can't wait to get in and have the banter with your mates, to get on the training field. Everything's going great. And at the other side of, Spain, you've got Madrid, who you can imagine there's a blame game going on in that dressing room. Him, it's his fault. It's his fault. He's not doing this. It's completely opposite. And I think for a manager and you've got to give we've talked about this before, I know. You have to give the manager, Hansi Flick, an awful lot of credit for how he's handled this early tenure of his Barcelona career. But on top of that, these players are making it a little easier for him.
Yes.
Because they're all in form. They're all in form. They're all performing, even the kids. But these senior players in the forward positions are all doing the business when it matters. And for him as a coach, that must be just fantastic.
It must be great, Jurgen, as a coach, when you're on this sort of run where, as the boys say, you look forward to coming into work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is the key at the end of the day, is that you're, especially for frontline players, Lewandowski, Yamal, if it's Rafinha, they need to smell each other. They need to run for each other. They need to move for each other, and then you develop this instinct that you are at the right place at the right time. Like in Lewandowski's case, he knew exactly that probably the ball will drop there, and I'm right there to finish it off. And you as a manager, you just hope that this chemistry is getting stronger and stronger and better in the locker room. And this is something obviously they're discussed right now at Real Madrid in details. They're saying, is it matching? Are they matching actually each other? Should Mbappe come from the left? But there is actually Vinicius Junior that should come from the left, and all these things. So, but I think Hansi Flick is doing a fantastic job. He encourages them. He gives them the freedom to rotate, which I think is very important, because if you don't do that rotation, to switch a bit positions and confuse the opponents, then you become static a bit like Arsenal was today. They were static. Now Saka only stayed on the right flank. He never moved to the other side, or Martinelli, the same thing. So you encourage that, and you hope that they melt. You hope that they support each other and have this blind understanding at the end of the day in order to score goals. And obviously Barcelona is scoring a lot of goals right now.
It's quite the redemption as well, Jurgen, for Flick, obviously, who was kicked out of the national team when he was in charge of Germany. This is his first job after that, and what a way to silence your critics.
Yes, and it shows you got to be at the right time, at the right place, also as a manager. You got to kind of come in, and the locker room maybe is already, like, the chemistry is already positive. It all is good. There are no kind of hierarchy fights between players. There are no other issues within the club. I read in a German paper that Hansi Flick's big advantage right now is that he doesn't speak Spanish yet. so he doesn't know what the people all write in the papers, or what they all say, or what the board of Barcelona is discussing, or he's not part of politics. He's just going to the training ground, does his job with his coaching staff. And so you need to have that luck too, that right now it just matches. It's just the right time for him to be there. Obviously, it didn't go that way with the German team for a lot of other reasons. But if you as a manager just don't hit it at the right time, then things are not working out. And then you get the next opportunity, and suddenly it all clicks. And right now it really clicks for Hansi Flick at Barcelona.
Let's go to his former club, shall we? Bayern Munich in action against Benfica. Just a one goal in this game for Vincent Kompany's side, and it would come in the 67th minute. Leroy Sané with the ball into Harry Kane.